Mind reading present. 11 direct reasons why staying away is powerful. People keep telling you that it's important to know when it's time to stop the relationship and stop your relationship. They constantly tell you that you should realize when it's time to stop trying, but you still can't understand why stepping away is a powerful thing. Many women apply this rule in their relationships when they realize that they are not satisfied with the direction they are headed. They made up their minds to withdraw before it was too late. As a result, many of them managed to turn an unhealthy relationship into a healthy one, or chose to end that chapter of life by focusing on other things that made them happier. However, you can't seem to see the real secret behind his disappearance. Can this really help make your relationship better? One that you really enjoy instead of stressing you out? Let's find out the power of moving away from a man and show him what his disadvantages are if he does not decide to act. Why is staying away so strong? Moving away is supposed to make positive changes in your relationship and life. It can make your partner aware of his loss, or make you see clearly that he or she is not the right person for you. So, when you decide to show your man everything he misses after you're out of his life, you're actually taking the reins into your own hands. This is why stepping away from your relationship greatly affects your relationship and your partner's behavior. Number 1. Men love to chase. The first reason why leaving home is strong may sound old-fashioned and stereotypical, but it has some truth. Men naturally like to chase. They like to fight for everything they want, and women are no exception. When you fall in love with a guy and are in a relationship with him, you're probably the one trying harder. You care about her, and constantly show her how much she means to you. As a result, he thought that he would always have you by his side, which made him lose interest in you. I know that there is nothing normal in his way of thinking, but that's what happens when men realize they have you, regardless of how they act around you. She knows that you will still love her even if she stops being as affectionate as she used to. She knows you'll still care about her even though it's been months since she last asked you out on a night out. Because you keep showing him that you still care about him, and after he reduces his efforts, he then stops fighting for you altogether. However, everything changes once you decide to go. When you step on the brake, turn around, and continue walking in the opposite direction, he then changes the way he treats you. He realizes that he must now pursue you if he wants to have you in his life. And it's something that inspires him to change his behavior and do something before he loses you completely. He knew this was his last call. He has to start doing things differently, or he'll end up without you. Number 2. Men love challenges. In addition to feeling the best when it comes to chasing a woman, men also love the challenges that lie ahead of them. A man knows that he has to do his best to win your heart and show that he deserves your time. He knows he has to outperform others to convince you that he is the one who deserves your love. And that was the challenge he faced. The harder she proves her love, the harder she keeps fighting to achieve her ultimate goal. This is a rather backward game that men love, because it gives them proof that they are still capable of getting whatever they want. When you show him that he can get everything on a silver platter, he'll get out of the way because he doesn't have to fight for you. But when you show him that you're not easy to get, and he has to put in his best effort to win your heart, then you inspire him to reach for the stars. That's why staying away is a powerful thing, because showing men that you are not an easy gift to take. He has to fight for you, or you will get out of his life. There is no third option. Number 3. Staying away makes him miss you. When you give all your love to your man, he will get used to the feeling that he is your whole world. But instead of reciprocating, man may decide to act cold and stop showing you his love. Then, once you decide to step away from her, she realizes how much she misses all the attention and appreciation. He misses your call to know how he's doing and your message of support. He misses hearing your good night and good morning every day. But he only realized that after you stepped away from him and showed him that you are not here to play games. As you cut her off and turned her back to her, she then starts to miss you because she sees how much you care about her. He realizes that no one can love him like you. And that's when a light bulb lights up in his head. Your absence in his life makes him see how much better things are when you are next to him. He misses every detail about you, and he tries his best to get you back. Number 4. Staying away makes him realize how much you mean to him. In addition to realizing how much he misses you, staying away is powerful because it also makes him realize how much you mean to him. Maybe she's been hiding her feelings all along for stupid reasons that men tend to have. Maybe he's afraid of being vulnerable, or he doesn't want to lose his freedom by fully committing to you. As a result, you suffer in silence, craving the affection you don't get, no matter how hard you try. But once you decide that you've had enough and leave, she then realizes that she shouldn't keep the same tempo she used to. He realizes that you are one of the best things that ever happened to him, and he cannot afford to lose you. Moving away from her makes her realize that you mean a lot to her, even though she never told you that. His inability to express his feelings to you drives you away from him. But now, he wants to change himself. All this time, he thought that he could live without you. But once you finally give up and decide to stay away from him, he realizes he can't keep playing games with you. After this, he will change his behavior and begin to show how much you mean to him. Lastly, he will express his feelings and cherish every moment he spends with you. And it's also one of the reasons why staying away is such a powerful thing. Not only makes him aware of his feelings for you, but also makes him change for the better. Number 5. Your grades increase by moving away. When you decide to leave, you show your partner that you are aware of your values and self-worth. You show him that you don't want him to treat you in a way you don't deserve. And then, as he watches you go, he realizes that you're worth more than he thought you were. He realized that all this time he treated you badly, and you never deserved such treatment. Instead of appreciating the fact that he has you in his life, he makes you feel like you're replaced. Instead of showing her how happy she is to have you, she acts like she can live without you. But once he sees you back, he realizes his life will only get worse if he lets you go. He realizes that he can't afford to lose you, because you are the best thing that ever happened to him. By moving away, you make her feel how much pain it can be when you're in a position where you potentially end up without anyone treating you as if you were her whole world. He now sees how precious you are, and how bad it feels when you actually decide to leave his life. And that's when he changes the way he treats you, because he knows that losing you will be the biggest mistake of his life. Number 6. Staying away makes him crave you. We all realize how much we need someone after that person is gone from our lives, especially in relationships. One day, you lose the person who actually wants to last forever. Staying away is a powerful thing because it ultimately makes him realize that his life will only get harder once you get out of it. It makes him crave everything about you, not only your good side, but also your shortcomings. Even if you're not perfect, she realizes that you're just what she needs. A woman who loves him and understands him. The man who will always be by her side if she manages to show her that he wants her to stay. When you walk away from the man you love because you can't afford to let him treat you badly, he actually realizes how great you are. And that's when he starts craving your presence in his life. So, if you feel dissatisfied with the way you're being treated by the person who should care about you the most, that's when you should walk away from them. Seeing you close the door on his life will show him that you know your worth, and it will make him crave you stronger than ever. And that fact will change the way he treats you. Number 7. Staying away shows him that you won't neglect your standards. When a guy thinks that you'll forgive all his mistakes because you love him, he may decide to test your limits. That's when you can expect him to treat you like a doormat, because he's sure you won't mind if he doesn't treat you right. However, if you show him that you will walk away from when he treats you badly, it will change things. The control shifts to you, and he realizes you won't let anyone push or exceed your limits. This changes the way he sees you, and his eyes finally show an expression of admiration. He realized that the woman next to him knew his worth. He knew how much he wanted to accept, and he wouldn't let anyone cross that line, no matter how deep his love is for the person who tries to play tricks on his heart. Even if you fall in love with her, you are still a high-value woman who knows what she wants. And such a woman will never allow a man to treat her worse than she should. He will demand effort and appreciation, no matter how long you've been in a relationship. And once you show him that you're willing to let him go, if he doesn't change, your relationship will change for the better. From a man who never showed how much you meant to him, He became the one who showered you with love and affection because you impressed him with your high standards. And that's why staying away is a powerful thing and can easily turn an unhealthy and mediocre relationship into an equal relationship for both partners. Number 8. Staying away makes him realize that he doesn't want to be alone. When you step away from a guy, you let him feel what it's like to be alone after having someone who is always there for you. You make him realize that not everything is fun and games when you have no one to share happiness and sadness with. After a long relationship with you, he gets used to the idea of having someone beside him. But now that you've stepped away, she's realized that living her life alone isn't the easiest thing in the world. Just because she's not willing to show her how much you mean to her. When you show her your back, you highlight the emptiness in her life. She still has her friends, but she doesn't feel comfortable enough to be vulnerable in front of them. With you, he feels free to share all his thoughts, from the darkest things to the things that keep him going and looking forward to the future. You are his rock, and now that he has lost you, he feels like he is stranded on a one-man island. You trigger her fear of being alone, which makes her want you back in her life. After that, he will do his best to change his behavior, and this time do things differently. It will make him go after you, because he now sees how much better his life is once you are next to him. Number 9. Give him space to realize his mistakes. Men hate feeling trapped, and most also hate admitting their mistakes. But once you decide to stay away from him, he finally has the best conditions to find out what really went wrong. When you're next to him, he doesn't notice how unhappy you feel. Maybe you keep telling him that he doesn't treat you the way you should, yet he ignores your words. You finally don't have the energy to fight back, so you should stay away from him. You have to show him that you can't accept his bad treatment anymore. By doing so, you have done yourself a favor and withdrawn from an environment that does not bring you any benefit. But you also give him enough time and space to reflect on his actions. You give him space to figure out what he did wrong and what he can do to correct his mistakes. You let him realize that he didn't give you half the effort you gave him, and now he has the opportunity to change it. Stepping away from a guy is beneficial because you let him realize the mistakes he has made and make him want to correct them. After that, you get the man who has changed, the man who is willing to fight harder for you than ever before. Number 10. It makes him act. One of the reasons why getting away is such a powerful tool is because it not only makes him realize his mistakes, but also makes him act and change them. Where before he didn't want to lift a finger, he is now determined to pursue you. Now that she's seen how sad it feels when you lose someone you care about, she doesn't want to stay in the same place. He wants you to be by his side, and for you to see how much he loves you. His feelings for you are always there, but those feelings are so repressed that he fails to show them. Now that she felt the loneliness of spending her nights alone in a bed made for two, she felt the need to change her behavior. He feels the need to act and do something so that he doesn't lose you forever. If he truly loves you and respects you as a person, he will definitely make you see it through his actions. The man who used to be will leave, and you will finally see his new, better side. The man who does what's best for you. The man who shows you that he will always be there for you, no matter what. Number 11. Ending a relationship that never lasts. Sometimes, things will end differently than you expected, but even though you may not get the expected results, staying away from it still proves to be powerful. When you show a guy that you're going to walk away from him and take a step back, two things can happen. First, he may feel many of the above that make him realize that he wants you in his life. As a result, he will give his best and fight for you until he finally wins you back. In this scenario, his love for you increases. Even though you are separated, it will only make him realize how empty his life is when you are not in it. The second scenario is that the man you left behind did nothing to get you back. He didn't move because he never loved you in the first place. If that's the case, then you should remind yourself that he never deserves you at all. Your relationship never lasts long, and it's only because of you that it doesn't fall apart early. You are the glue that holds it together, and once you give up, that's when the truth comes to the surface. In this case, staying away from him turns out to be very powerful, because it makes you realize that you should not waste your time on someone worthless. It's better to leave him immediately than to let him leave you when it's clear that your relationship will never come true. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends so we can keep making them. For more videos like this, hit the subscribe button and remember to click on the notification bell. Also, be sure to check out our other videos as well. Thanks for watching.